Are you ready for this week's series? Like it's a menopause mini series. In case you haven't been listening or you're new to this channel, we've done a fair whack. I have to say we've covered a fair whack, and from the feedback that we've been receiving, especially in last week's, people want more knowledge. They want more content. They give me more specifics. Can we do a deeper dive? What are the reps I need to be doing? What is this weight vest that you're talking about? What is the nutrition? Like, help, help, help. So I think maybe our six is going to turn into like
20.
16, I was going to say. And if there's things that are helping you or things that are creating even more curiosity about certain things, keep messaging because we're storing all the questions, and that's going to help us give you more information. And it also helps us to know what content you guys are appreciating and what you need, because that's why we're here, right? We're all going on this menopause journey together. So what have we've done? Is this our fourth one?
Yeah, so today we're doing our fourth one. So today we're actually going into mental health in menopause. So we're going to specifically talk about mood, your memory, and sleep today.
Those are like three of my favorites.
Yeah, these are good. And I think most women, we'll go into that, but most women have an issue in this during menopause. But I mean, we've been amazing. We're through this whole series, we've gone through understanding what are the main symptoms. That was our first one. What are the symptoms that you may be experiencing that you didn't even realize were connected to menopause or perimenopause?
Like tinnitus and TMJ and heart palpitations and
Itchy
shoulder.
skin,
Like all of these
dry
things
skin,
we didn't know.
eyes, dry eyes, so many different things. There were 72 symptoms that you could actually be experiencing. So
If you're not sure,
go back.
please go back to the first one. And there is, I don't know if you've put a link in there.
There's a link in there. Yeah.
We should always have a link in all of these. So you can go and have a look at those symptoms so that if you're going to a medical appointment, if you're a little bit like me and a little bit struggling with brain fog, then you can just print it out or have it a photo on your phone so that you can go through and tick your symptoms so you can explain to a doctor, these are the things that I'm experiencing. So if you are one of those people that are going to be looking at supplementing for your estrogen on the patches or the gels or the HRT that we've spoken about briefly, you will know if it's making a difference to these things.
Yeah.
So that's what gets managed or what gets measured gets improved. Because a lot of women are not tracking the things that it just goes away, and they're not linking it to that was a menopausal symptom. So,
and we often use the language, I'm getting old, rather than I'm actually going through a hormone change. It's not age related. Unfortunately, menopause and age happen as you age, but it's not actually because you're getting old. Your body's not getting old. Your hormones are changing. And that's what we did in episode 2. We talked about how your body is affected by the changes in estrogen and progesterone. And like just that knowledge alone has made such a difference to a lot of the ladies that I've spoken to. Like they just can't believe that the things that they've been experiencing are related to and why and how it's being related. It's awesome.
Yeah, like is it my brain that's going or is it my body that's going? And understanding what the benefits are of progesterone and the benefits of estrogen and, HRT combining both of them. So some people need more estrogen, some people need more progesterone, even testosterone and DHEA. Like there's so many things that we didn't know. So having that knowledge is also powerful when you go to the doctor.
Absolutely. And then last week we talked about the more physical problems that are going on, like your body weight going up, muscle mass going down, and bone density being affected. So those are 3 majors, and that's why I think last week was such a popular episode. We've had so many people come and message us asking for more because there's such an area we can go deeper, so much deeper. So we will hold tight. We will be going deeper into the whole exercise and nutrition side of things to help you guys
So
out.
many people have messaged me privately about the weighted vests. Do they work? Are they good? Which one do you use? All that. I've just started last week with a 5 kg vest. So I will give you a review once I've done that for 30 days. So all I'm saying is don't start too heavy. I would like to have got a 2.5, but anyway, I've started on a 5. Don't go too hard, too fast, but I will let you know which one I've got and if I'm noticing a difference for me. So that's coming. I don't want to give you all the information until I've tried it myself. I don't like sharing things that I'm unfamiliar with or I haven't had experience with because It's just hearsay, right? So all of us are different.
Mm.
And if you've got anything that is working really well for you, sharing is caring, baby. Like share that stuff so that we can help other women go through this journey with more knowledge so they feel more empowered, so that they don't feel isolated and alone. Because to be honest, that shit sucks and we want to put a stop to it. All right.
Yeah.
So what's today?
So today we're going to
Today's
go
goodie.
for a deep dive into your mood, your memory, and your sleep. And we're going to discuss some strategies that are going to help you to manage these changes a bit better. We're definitely not saying here we're going to give you the cure, because there is no real cure. Everybody is uniquely different, and some things will work for some people and it won't work for someone else. But I think the message across the board is that don't try one thing and say it doesn't work and then just stop trying. You've got to find the things that are going to work for you. So we'll hopefully give
Trial and
you,
error, right?
yeah.
Like,
Some people work really well by, when it comes to, like, I don't know, sleep, listening to chill music, or some people like to have a bath, and some people like to smell oils, and some people just try to smack
breath.
themselves in the head because they just can't sleep. All right.
That was me last night at 3 o'clock. I was like, what?
So take everything, all the little tips that we're going to give to you today. I'm hoping that there's going to be something in each of these for mood, for memory, and for sleep that are going to help you. And just be patient and be kind, because this is menopause, guys. It's not just, oh, I'm having a bad day.
Yeah,
Right?
this is a third of our life that we're going to go through this. And it is such an important topic. Studies have shown that nearly 85% of women experience symptoms that are significantly listen to me, this is the brain fog already and the speech happening, right? Significantly impact their mental well-being during menopause. I'm glad that you highlighted that for me, right?
Yeah.
85%. Like I know for me personally, not only do I forget people's names, I struggle with my speech, which I just demonstrated right then. I
Forget why
forget,
you walk into a room.
where's my car keys? Am I going in the car? Am I walking? Like, why am I going into the kitchen? Like all of those things. Memory, like, oh, there's so many things. But 85% of women experience symptoms that significantly impact us. Like we feel like we're going mental. Maybe that's you. Maybe you have friends or family members that all of a sudden their whole personality's changed and they're struggling to remember things, or they're not as engaged as they once were, or they're really forgetful, or they're constantly asking you to repeat the same story. This is the shit that we're talking about.
And I just wanted to, I don't know if you've heard, if you've been listening to things on what's called Instagram, or you've been listening to any doctors from America, especially, they talk about this thing called the WW, which is whining woman syndrome. You go to the doctor because you're not feeling well, everything doesn't feel right, your brain fog is up, your mood has gone completely crazy, you can't sleep, there's all these symptoms that are
Can't
happening.
make decisions anymore.
You've
Your
got achy
sex drive
body.
is low. That's right. Your shoulders are messed up.
Yeah, and you go to the doctor and you're like, I don't know what's wrong with me, and you list off these things that are happening to you, and doctors literally are writing it down in their
This
notes.
was like 10 years ago. I don't
Yeah.
know if this is still happening.
That
Hey, and maybe we need to find out if this is still
it's
happening.
like the WW. And one of the doctors that we were listening to online, she was saying how she, like, good 8 to 10 years ago, going in, she brand new out of medical school, going in and sitting in with another doctor, seeing a lady, writes this in file WW, and then she asked him, what does WW mean? And he turned around and said, oh, she's a whining woman. That's all it is. They just
Are
come in
you
here
fucking
and
for real?
whine about all these symptoms, and
Oh,
they just need to
honey,
get
there's
over
a whole
themselves.
different thing when it comes to whining, right? Like this is the reality, right? Whining is whining is a piece of piss compared to menopause.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, fucking whining woman.
So if
Oh,
you
don't start me,
feel
Sam. Don't start
if
me.
you feel like you just constantly think like everything seems to be wrong with you, and it's just you feel in yourself that you just seem to be moaning or complaining, or things are going wrong all the time, and you just keep saying, I've got this and I've got this and I've got this and I've got this and now I've got this, and you feel like a hypochondriac. If any of that kind of stuff is happening, you're not going crazy. I just want you to know that these are all symptoms of going through perimenopause. So
This is why it's so important that we
yeah.
understand what's happening to our bodies and our minds. It's essential to creating a more balanced, fulfilling life. Even during when we're going highs and lows and fluctuations in these,
Hormones.
yeah, like even
Yeah.
testosterone just came straight to mind. Like,
Yeah.
not that I'm saying go on to testosterone or
That
don't
could be
go
crazy because I remember Ursula
testosterone.
on testosterone once. Because she's quite a driven human. If you don't know her very well, she's an extremely driven person, and her specialist did some blood tests and found that her testosterone was a bit low. Thought she might need a bit of a top up. Well, holy shit. She turned into a seriously feisty, driven woman. And I think within 3 days, I'm like, you need to stop this testosterone, man. I'm gonna pass out. I can't keep up with all this. I've got to do this. So if you're feeling like your drive, your ability to get shit done,
This is
your
all
libido,
normal.
all of those things have actually just dropped. That could be testosterone related as well. And women do have testosterone, like just like men have estrogen. We all have the same hormones. It's just in different sort of levels. So
So you're not going crazy.
no.
You're at the right place at the right time. So we're going to dive into your mood swings today. We're going to dive into
What else are we going to do?
see,
Memory.
and sleep.
How appropriate was that?
Wasn't that good? And it wasn't even a joke. Like seriously, I thought, what the fuck are we going to talk about? I've forgotten. It's all good. I haven't forgotten. I
Okay.
have forgotten. Sam has these little notes down there, like, babe, look at the notes. I'm like, oh, anyway. Let's
So
start with mood swings.
Yeah, so mood swings. Menopause brings on changes to your estrogen and your progesterone levels. So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. And this leads to emotional shifts.
Now that's really important to
Okay.
know, right? So we're irritable, our anxiety starts to lift. Like this is one of the biggest concerns with my coaching clients, especially in the last 2 years, is they think that this is one of the common things is I think I'm having a midlife crisis. Like people come to me from a life coach, mindset coach perspective, say, I think I'm having a midlife crisis. And I'm like, why is that? Well, because I just don't know what I want anymore. Like I'm crying at the drop of a hat. Like I'm screaming at my husband. I can't remember this. Like they're not coping with the kids anymore. Their workload is well above what they've been able to do in the past. This is the anxiety going through the roof. Like people are becoming anxious that have never ever been anxious in their whole life. They don't even know what anxiety is. That's why they think something's wrong with me. I'm going mental. No, it's mood swings, and your progesterone and estrogen are going batshit crazy. That's what you've got to think.
Yeah, it's kind of like you just don't cope as well. The
Yeah.
things that you used to be able to deal with no problem suddenly become a lot more challenging.
Like
And you just
little
can't-
things,
little things.
right? Like maybe organizing a party before might have just been like in your sleep, done. Now it's like I actually have to write a to-do list, and then writing the to-do list becomes overwhelming. So lots of fear-based thing, like it's overwhelming, lots of confusion, lots of frustration. If that sounds like you, this could be one of the reasons why.
Yeah. So how does this really work? Well, estrogen plays a really important part, like critical part in regulating your serotonin, which is a feel-good neurotransmitter. So
Don't forget that.
when you have lots of estrogen, you have lots of serotonin and you feel good. When you have low estrogen, you have low serotonin and you don't feel so good. Now, estrogen levels decline, and that can lead to your mood swings that feel intense, right? Sometimes they can be really intense. They can be extremely unpredictable. Like 1 minute you're fine, the next minute you're gone batshit crazy. And basically, you can have massive overwhelm at the drop of a hat with no real reason. And
you know what's happening. You're like once it's done, you might, and then you're like, oh, and then you could live with guilt or dread or sadness or frustration. And then you suppress those emotions because you don't know what's happening because no one talks about it. No one's having the open conversations of I just fully lost my shit the other day because of A, B, and C. People are not linking this behavior with a decline in hormones. So that's what's happening. You are not going batshit crazy. And even if you are, go batshit crazy, right? Let's all do it together. Let's be open and honest about it. However, it's not because you're out of control. It's your hormones are out of control. They're declining, and that's having a huge impact on your mental and emotional well-being.
And I think this sort of stuff is really important to understand and acknowledge and be able to share this with your partner Because, like if you're not aware of that, hey, I'm actually going through menopausal changes here. This is why my moods are going like mental.
Mm.
How does your partner know? They just think you've gone batshit crazy. And one minute you're like happy and loving them. The next minute you're screaming and yelling. The next thing you're crying.
The
And then you,
divorce rate is higher at this
this age.
time when women are going through menopause. The two things that are massive changes, right, is divorce rates skyrocketing, and suicide rates. That was the other one.
Yeah.
That was huge. When I learned that, I was like, what? Like, how many women are struggling out there, feeling isolated, feeling alone, and feeling abandoned? So I think this message is so valuable, and having the knowledge so that you can share this with your partner, so that you can share this with your kids, with your family, with the workplace, like having open conversations. Like, I'm really struggling to remember people's names. Like, I've had an instance where I've been in a staff meeting, I've literally forgotten my staff's names. And this was related to meds that I was on at the time, not related to menopause, but who knows, it was related to menopause.
Could it be?
That's a terrible place to be. Like, I didn't even want to admit in a meeting right now, I'm struggling with your name. Like, I was mortified. I was so humiliated. I just didn't even know how to cope. So I stopped running my staff meetings because I didn't have the courage to be able to say in that meeting, I'm really struggling with memory at the moment. I'm slurring my words and I'm easily distracted, right? All of those symptoms are also menopause symptoms. So, due to shame, we tend to shut down and we isolate. I'm gonna say, let's talk about it more so that we can hold a space for women going through this, so we can have more kindness and compassion as we transition through this period of our life. So we don't have to hide, we don't have to hold on to the guilt and the shame, because that's a really shitty, hard place to be in. So if you're that person right now and you are struggling, please continue listening to these series. Reach out to us. We are here for you. You are certainly not alone. All
Okay.
right.
So let's just talk about the benefits about
Mm,
understanding your hormone-related changes. There's two major things. One, just realizing is going to reduce self-blame,
absolutely.
right? That's a big one. Like this is not your fault. It is you, you're not going crazy.
Mm.
And two, it does open that sort of proactive self-care opportunity. Like you can actually incorporate natural mood lifters and things into your life that are going to help you feel better. If you don't know, you can't take action,
Well, you
right?
resist persists, right? So you shut down and isolate. Whereas now that you have more knowledge and you know that there's things that you can do that are going to make you transition easier, like physical exercise,
Yeah.
like number
Number
one, physical
one,
exercise.
like exercise has been shown, doesn't reduce, it releases
Mm.
endorphins, which is your natural mood boosting hormone or chemical that comes and counterbalances that hormonal changes and that you're experiencing from your estrogen dropping and your progesterone going down, which is making you feel blah. You now have estrogen, you now have exercise, which lifts up your mood. So you can balance it out. You have less anxiety and less irritability. Isn't that awesome? Just by moving, by getting your physical exercise.
Like, just get up and exercise. For God's sake, it is so critical, right?
It
And I
helps,
know,
it regulates cortisol,
yes, oh my
right? Which is your
gosh,
stress hormone.
it's like a stress hormone, but a fat hormone too,
And
I
that goes,
think.
like the cortisol goes crazy. It fluctuates a lot while you're going through menopause. And it's
That
also
also
affects
keeps you in,
them.
yeah, but it's in fight or flight, right? So if your cortisol levels are high, the anxiety is high, you're living in fight or flight, you're just reactive as opposed to proactive. So we want to reduce those cortisol levels so that we can sleep more. So when the cortisol is really high, not much sleep going on either. So we really need to, when we exercise, that can reduce it. Wow, that's a win-win.
It's
We're
crazy
taking
cool.
our power back. Like, screw you, menopause. You will not
You're
beat
not
me.
baby. And the good thing is regular exercise, it also reduces symptoms of depression and improves your
Absolutely.
energy levels
Hmm.
and helps you basically take control of your mood and your physical health at the same time.
Which is so important because triglycerides go up, your bad cholesterol goes up, your LDLs rise, and your triglycerides rise, right? So again, it's that heart health. It's also the fat distribution with the tummy, the boobs, under the arms, like the lack of estrogen, like getting up there and being more metabolically active is not only improving your energy levels, but it's also helping you physically. So we did that week's podcast about the importance of it.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's move on
The other thing you can do is mindfulness practices. So physical exercise is one thing that will help with your mood. Mindfulness practices. Now, Ush is like the guru of this. I feel like I shouldn't speak. Because I'm
You
not.
can speak. You can speak.
But like meditation and breath work, they reduce stress by calming down your nervous system and focusing the mind rather than being out there. You can just focus on one thing. And they lower your cortisol levels.
Yeah.
Which then also eases those symptoms of menopause, especially the mood swings and the anxiety. And mindfulness strengthens your resilience. It helps you to develop more balanced emotional responses to those hormonal changes.
Now, just listen to that shit again. If you're the type of person that is go, 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 and now you're on a slow, 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 and everything feels like it's going out of this crazy order, like it's like we don't understand, right? We feel really unbalanced and uncertain. Just listen to what Sam just said in that sentence. Repeat.
Mindfulness strengthens resilience and helps you develop a more balanced emotional response to hormonal changes.
Now, shit, I don't know about you, but man, I've had some really significant emotional outbursts. Like, I've been behaving sometimes like a spoiled little brat, right? This will help lower your resting heart rate. It lowers your cortisol. It reduces your anxiety, reduces your stress. It brings more clarity. It centers your brain, and then you focus on the now instead of living in the future or living in the past, because we tend to catastrophize things when the anxiety starts to rise. So this is one of the major things that I do with my clients is I'm like, please just start with 3 to 5 minutes of meditation of just stillness. I can't do it, Ash. I know you can't do it because you're used to living in fight or flight. But now fight or flight's become the new driver in your nervous system. If your nervous system is dysregulated, it's impacting your brain health. It's impacting your heart health. It's impacting your appetite. It's impacting your sleep. It's impacting who you are as a wife, as a sister, as a mother, as a daughter, as an auntie. Like it's impacting every relationship that you have if you are living in fight or flight. So this is something that you can control quite easily. And what studies have shown?
Or that if you do consistent mindfulness practices can lead to a long-term mood improvement. So it makes it a more sustainable coping mechanism rather than just a one-off. So if you're doing it regularly and it becomes part of a routine for you, you'll actually find that you're able to probably step into a quick meditation. When you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, you can just chuck on a 3 or 5 minute meditation and calm everything right down.
Or you can move into a quick
Breath work.
Like 5 of those will bring you straight back into being in the know. Like yin yoga, I've been teaching yin now for 4 years. When I first started teaching yin yoga, there was so much resistance in my body. Like I just wanted to dictate and do this, do that, do this, do that. I'm used to teaching really high intensity classes for 20 years. Now I'm in yin where it's like breathe in and slowly breathe out. It took me like 2 years to master and slow down the tone and the speed of my voice until I felt like I'm calm enough to be able to teach the class. So, if you're starting things for the first time, please give yourself some grace. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to start. Like I've been meditating for 25 years. Like I still mess it up. I still have days where I turn it on and my brain is just going right over here. It's okay. You don't need to be perfect at this shit. You don't need to be a yogi and balance on your head in the corner. You can just sit up. You can lie down. All my meditations, I love doing lying down. All my breath work, I love lying down. It goes against the grain. It doesn't matter. If it's slowing your nervous system down, then it's only benefiting you right now and your future self is like doing a massive happy dance.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the third thing we've got for your mood, guys, here is seeking connection and support from others. Like Having a social support during menopause provides both emotional validation and practical coping ideas. Like there's might be something your friend did and it worked, and then you tried and it may work for you. It might not, but it might. Like if we don't talk to our friends and join support groups or
Or get a
go to
coach.
coach or have a trainer that you can talk to who understands, or have talk to your sister or your mum or somebody and just like talk it out. This is not something we have to keep a secret, because when you keep it a secret and you try and hold it inside, you're going to have the most awful experience.
Mm.
You're going to feel completely misunderstood. You're going to feel like you're going completely batshit crazy, and you're going to be very much alone. And that's not necessary. We are literally half the population. We take up half of the universe, half of the world. I shouldn't call universe because who knows what's up there. We take up
We'll probably
half of
take
the
all
world.
of that. Yes.
But by sharing experiences and tips can provide some new insights, how to manage your symptoms, having a strong support system, and is known to boost your emotional well-being and reduce your stress levels because you realize you're not doing this alone and you're not going crazy.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with seeking a professional. Like so many women that I've coached, even this year, is I don't even know why I need to have a coach, Ish, but there's a couple of things that you've said, and it takes them 2 or 3 sessions before they have the courage or the confidence to say to me, "Oh, I'm really struggling with anxiety." It's normal. It's okay. And if you don't feel that you have the support or people aren't able to validate your emotions and you don't have a safe space, get yourself a coach, a therapist. Like, who cares? Like, I've had a therapist for 12 months. I've had a coach for 12 months. Like, I've always had a coach and a mentor. Like, I don't want to struggle unnecessarily. If someone else can give me the answers or validate what I'm going through, I'm all over it because I don't know if you've never struggled with anxiety, you won't get this. But if you've lived with anxiety and high anxiety, every day is like a struggle to stay alive every day. And if you can find that one person that can validate or give you that piece of hope or highlight behaviors or patterns that you can just tweak a little bit, and that can give you a fresh breath of air, a little insight, trust me, they're worth their money in gold. They
Mm.
like without my therapist, I would not have got through this last 12 months, without a doubt. And even Sam will say, like, before I went on holiday, I'm like, can I get in? Do you need to come in, Ish, before this one? And Sam's in the background. Yes, she does need to come in. And my therapist is just cracking up laughing on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, babe, I certainly need to get in and see you. Like, I don't have shame around getting help from people that can validate my experience, that can give me some insights, and that can put me back into normality a lot quicker than I could do it on my own. Because I don't know about you, when I've struggled with anxiety in the past, I've had CBT therapy, I've had therapists, I've done coaching, all of them have beautiful qualities that I've been able to tap into. I'd hate to think how I would survive without either of those people in my life. I hate to think, I don't even know if my marriage would be, I don't even know if I'd be married. Like, people are really embarrassed to ask for help. Please don't be that person. You don't need to suffer alone. Like, if you don't have the friends and the family and you don't feel safe in your environment to share what you're sharing, find someone that can validate you and help you on this journey one-on-one or in a group. All right.
Okay, so that was our mood. Now we're going to go on to number 2.
I'm gonna
Thank you
just
for
I'm
that,
just
Ish.
gonna drink my lemon juice because this is gone. I'm gonna forget what we're talking about. Mm.
Okay, so let's talk about brain fog. Now, many women report experiencing brain fog or memory issues during menopause. Many, right? You're not alone on this. The symptoms are frustrating, and at times they can be even sometimes feel a little bit frightening because
No,
you're
lots
actually
of times I
worried
feel
that you're going
frightening.
to, like, you're actually losing your marbles or you're getting dementia, or, like we go straight to the worst case scenario when we start to struggle with memory.
We catastrophize it because we're highly anxious because our estrogen's low.
Mm.
Like, hello, all of this makes sense, right?
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, yep. You go, Sam.
Yeah.
I've gone to shush now. Brain fog.
Okay, brain fog, it can look like forgetting names, losing track of time, or struggling to stay focused on tasks, right?
Is that like you? Like, you say that you're going to do one thing and then you've got like pieces of paper all over the place. Like you have alarms on your phone all over the place. Like, is that you? And then you even ask your partner to say, don't let me forget this.
It happens daily. Don't let me forget to do this. I'll
Hourly, babe.
try.
Hourly, hourly.
Um, Now it's as common, and nearly 60% of menopausal women report having cognitive changes. So having struggling with memory and struggling with brain fog.
It's a pretty high stat.
60%.
I
I think it's higher.
uh, I think people probably don't report it.
Yeah.
Like when I coach clients one-on-one, and when I've PT'd in the personal trained in the past, people will be okay talking about this, but it's not brought up in general conversation.
No.
People say,
No.
I forgot my keys, oh, it's just menopause. But they're not actually being really open about forgetting people's names. They're not being really open about, why did I leave my car keys in the fridge? I've completely forgot appointments. Like there was 2 years ago where I would not only write it in my diary, I'd set an alarm, I would ask them specifically to ring me 30 minutes before an appointment because I just would completely forget. And I've never forget appointments in my life. Never, never. Like it's just not something that I do. I respect people's time. But it was just going AWOL. Like I would set alarms on Sam's phone, remind me to do this. My tablets, I can't even, this is another simple thing. I can't put tablets into little containers. I've got maybe 8 different things happening all the time, morning tablets and nighttime tablets, and I don't even remember to take them. Like I have them in little plastic bags now, a little thing with the day on them, morning one, and then another one, nighttime. How do I know I've forgotten them? Because it's still sitting on top the next day. Those types of things, I don't think people are reporting because we have shame around it.
Yeah, true.
So much shame. Okay, I'm shushing now.
Basically, with memory, it's basically because your estrogen levels are dropping, and estrogen is very much closely related to your cognitive function. So it's going to happen. It just, I guess, it's the degree at which it affects each individual is different. So some people might just forget a name here and there, and other people completely forget names all the time, forget to do things, lose track of time. So again, everything is on a scale, and everybody's uniquely different. So just because you only forget things sometimes doesn't mean you never have brain fog. And just because you forget things all the time doesn't mean that you're chronic. It just means that you are chronic. You're having a worse response to your lowering estrogen than other people. Now, the benefits of recognizing this is that if you want to avoid the feeling of being broken. And I think that's what a lot of people think when your brain starts to go, I mean, you're feeling like crap, you're overwhelmed, you have anxiety, and now you don't even remember stuff. It's that feeling of being broken. And I think the important thing is there are things that you can do. There are steps that you can take that will help support mental clarity. It's not going to necessarily 100% fix it, but these things that can actually help to get your brain functioning better, things that will stimulate your brain minus the estrogen. And of course, you've got opportunities like going on HRT and other hormone replacement therapies, whether they are bioidentical or whether they're medical, that will also potentially help.
Yeah. I was just thinking of some of the things that I have just recently started doing this year for my brain is, like just mental exercises. And like I've never played Sudoku in my life. Sam is the game player. Like she will sit there and, do these matchy games and Sudoku. I'm like, I'm not wasting my time playing games. Like I'm on a podcast or I'm on an audiobook, right? So now I'm realizing, oh, I like to learn, and I don't like to waste time just doing other stuff. Like to me, playing games is a waste of time. Oh, no, it's not. It's growing neural pathways in my brain. So I've just recently started Sudoku. Like, what the hell? Oh, does this girl get frustrated? And then Sam's telling me all the ways to cheat. You can do this. Why are you cheating? Like, my brain is... So we end up in a domestic because Sam's cheating, teaching me, you can pull up the screen and you can do this and then you can reveal that. So, oh, again.
Well, let's just go the first time.
Reactive.
Ish was literally just putting numbers anywhere and then just going, oh, that doesn't work. And now there's like 7 numbers that are all the same in the same line. It's like, well, I'll just fix it. I'm like, how are you going to fix it? You don't even know which ones you have to take out. It was tough the first couple of days in the learning process, but now you become a champion.
No, I don't know. Some days I'm at 15 minutes and some days I'm at 10. Like it's still a challenge for me. However, I now have found something that I know is going to create more neural pathways in my brain that's going to help me play Sudoku, right? Now, why is that important? Because that part of my brain isn't working. That part of my brain, snooze, you lose, baby. You snooze, you lose. Like it's the same with crosswords. Some people just love crosswords. Well, go out there and read an audio book. Go out there and do a program. Go out there, do a course. Whatever you're doing at the moment to
Stimulate.
to stimulate your brain, I'm going to challenge you and encourage you to do something completely different. Like, do I like playing Sudoku? No. Why? Because I'm not good at it. I'd much rather just plug in and do a course and then write it all out, get the certificate, right? I'd love to do that. That's way better for my brain stimulation. But it's better for my brain that I'm doing something outside of my comfort zone. I'm growing neural pathways in a whole different era. And now I know that you can cheat on Sudoku. Thanks to Sam.
Well, if you really need some help.
Next.
You can also do games like puzzles and memory games
yeah.
and learning games. Anything that uses, you have to start with matching.
What's the other one you
things.
used to do?
I like watching it's a pairing mahjong type
that
thing.
mahjong. That's it.
And it's the pairing one where you just got to look for matching tiles and two tiles together. So you're looking for patterns. You're looking for you can do like spelling bees. You can do Wordle. There's an app.
I've just Googled it, right? NYT Games. I'm going to put this on my socials. But NYT Games is what I've downloaded, and I play Sudoku on that every single day. That's part of my brain therapy. I need to do that every single day.
So
why? Because I'm going to be growing those neural pathways, baby.
And it's
I don't want my brain to deteriorate.
It's the New York Times daily. Every day they give you new ones. And I think there's like 6 or 7
How
games
funny
on
is
there.
that? I hadn't even connected New York Times. Oh my God.
New York Times games.
Yeah.
And there's a free version and there's a paid version. But you get the free version.
I do the free version and I just go down. You've got crosswords in there, you've got Sudoku in there, like go
Wordle,
do it. But let us know how it's going. Don't send me stuff that's too hard for my brain because I'm going to feel like shit and I'm going to hate you for doing it. Like send me stuff that is like basic kindergarten so I feel like a champion. I don't feel like my brain is deteriorating and I can make progress slowly. You got it? Yeah, don't send me the shit that you're at right now because you've been practicing this for years. Like people are like, do this crossword. And I look and I'm like, hello. I'm going looking at that screen for like 10 minutes, getting really freaking mad. Like I'm just not going to do it. So start with basic. This one is awesome. It does it easy, medium, and hard. I'm happy to start easy. I'm happy. Still working the brain. Okay.
Right, so there's 3 other things that you can do to help with the brain stimulation. One is getting the right nutrition. So I just want to, I'm only covering this, there's so much here, we're going for the majors. Eating nutrient-dense diet, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamin B. And these all support brain health. So you got food like salmon and walnuts,
brain food,
leafy green veggies, like spinach. You got berries, whole grains. They also help support cognitive function by reducing inflammation and nourishing the brain. Staying hydrated is also essential. Lots of water, because even mild dehydration can worsen brain fog. So you've got to get your inflammation down.
Most of you didn't know that, right? Most of you are like, I don't want to drink water. Well, your brain is not coping. Brain fog has gone like just think double or triple or something, then you'll drink more water.
Your brain is like 90-something percent water. So if you're dehydrated, your brain shrinks and it can't function properly.
Fuck, I can't have my brain shrink anymore.
So you got to get the nutrition right and you got to drink lots of water.
I'm on basic Sudoku for God's sake. I'm sure that a primary school kid could smash me on that. Oh, we're not talking about it. Anyway.
You're doing great. Time is getting better and better. Now, the other thing that we've talked about before when we were talking about mood is breath work and meditation, because practicing these and deep breathing exercises can improve your focus by reducing your stress and helping your brain stay more engaged.
Especially in the moment. Like, we spend a lot of time catastrophizing and living in the future. What if this goes wrong? Why is that not working out? And we're playing the blame, shame, complain game. By doing the breath work and meditation, we live in the moment. It centers us, it grounds us, it provides us with more clarity. It can also be frustrating because you don't want to stop Because you're too busy catastrophizing. So stop fucking catastrophizing. Take 5 minutes, do some breath work, and meditate.
And then the last one. And the last one is routine and structure, guys. So sticking to routines and using tools like planners or lists and reminders to make your daily tasks more manageable. So you got to
habit
plan.
tracker. The habit tracker. The habit tracker. I just put it. I actually just stuck it downstairs because I hadn't been doing my habit tracker. You don't use a habit tracker. You use a habit tracker.
And the other thing that Ursh does really well is she also breaks tasks into small steps. And then setting little reminders. So not trying to do the big things all at once, but just taking one step to get to the end goal so that it's less overwhelming. And then you can really just be focused on the first step of that task. Because sometimes when you've got a task that needs to be done and it feels so big, it just becomes so overwhelming that you just can't do it at all. So small steps.
Okay, number 3. Is this the lucky last?
This is the lucky last
now,
one.
This is going to be really rude, but we are going to race through this because I've just seen it. We are sitting at 40 minutes. So you might want to break and then come back and do this. And again, I'm having a feeling that we're going to have to break each one of these down and go into more detail. Yeah. Okay, so 7 strategies for a restful night.
So sleep is one of the most common complaints that women get during menopause. You get hot flashes, you get night sweats, there's increased anxiety often through disrupted sleep cycles, and nearly 70% of women struggle to get consistent, proper sleep.
70! I'm in the 60% group, I'm in the 70% group. Life is a breeze.
It's ridiculous, right? And we don't get enough sleep. You have increased irritability, you have impaired concentration, and you amplify feelings of anxiety, which affects both the mood and the brain fog that we just talked about. So sleep is one of the main things that you need to make sure you get enough of. I know a lot of you are saying, well, that's easier said than done, Sam. If I could, I would, but I can't. So I guess we'll look at, getting the benefits of sleep, understanding the link between menopause and sleep, I guess. And we have to take control of our sleeping environment in order to try and make some improvements in our sleep quality.
You've got to have routine. There has to be some routine when it comes to sleep. Like we just can't fall asleep the way that we used to.
No. So I know you guys know the basics, like, you got to go to sleep. Right. We've got to get 7 or 8 hours of sleep. Well, yeah, how the frick's that going to happen? So we're just going to break down some of the strategies that you could use. And I'm like, this was really important. Again, not everything works for everybody. Right, so you have to figure out what could work for you. So
you are unique, baby, and you are special. Choose one.
So first of all, you got to look at your sleeping environment. Right, so you want to make yourself as comfortable as possible to be able to get a better night's sleep. So
get this, they say that it's around 18 degrees is what you need to have your room at for optimal sleep. 18. Like that means I got to put my air conditioning on and go jump in my pool.
Yeah.
But if it means I'm going to sleep, I'm prepared to do it.
Or have the windows open, especially to keep the room cool, keep the room cool. So you want to be sleeping at about 18 degrees. So that's one thing. The next thing is you've got to have cool bedding. So you got to use like moisture wicking, breathable sheets that are sort of lightweight. Maybe have a real breathable comforter that goes on top. Because your room might be 18 degrees, but if you chuck all these duvets on top of you and stuff, you're going to end up with a 25-degree bed. So you've got to keep the bed cool. You've got to keep the room cool.
And there's new technology out now for those people that want to invest. You can buy mattresses on a timer that you can set to your own personal use, right? And your own temperature throughout the night, and it changes so that you wake up with ease. Now you're looking at around $5,000 US. Haven't got one of those. Haven't got one.
They realize they need them. See, that's how important it is.
There are options like that available because this is how important sleep is.
And I know, you can buy mattresses that are got cooling technology in them. Almost, it's not a gel, but they are cooling. And I know we bought pillows. They were really hard though, so I don't like them. But there are pillows that you could buy that are actually cooling pillows. So when you lie on them, you don't create that heat underneath your head and they stay cool. So there are definitely cooling options. You've got to wear lightweight, breathable clothes, loose-fitting cotton, things that are not going to cling to your body is really important. Or you could just sleep naked if you like that, because then at least you don't have anything clinging to you, so that's a bonus. And then the other thing is to make sure there is a fan close by or you have air conditioning in your room so that if you do wake up and you're hitting a major sweat, you can quickly turn the fan on and try to get back to sleep as quickly as possible.
And I feel you. Like when I've struggled with hot flushes, like there ain't no time to switch the aircon on. There ain't no time to switch the fan on, right? It is just like so hot. I'm sweating. I'm actually got the chills because I'm sleeping in my sweat. So get out, change the bed, go have a shower, come back. I know you. I feel you. If you're like, are you fucking serious, Ursh? I need to get a fan and aircon. I know. I know. But once I took some estrogen, it helped calm the effects of that. This is just one of the things or some of the things that you
Could do
can
to help.
control, right? So you might want to get your room ready before you go to bed. If you've got a timer on your aircon, you might want to have that on between 12 and 2 a.m. Like figure out what's going to work best for you.
Yeah.
Okay, what's a
The other one is sleep
great,
routines, eh?
yeah, definitely.
Now,
Hit me with a sleep
this is all
routine.
about getting to sleep, trying to actually get into a sleep mode because a lot of people struggle just to even fall asleep. So some people like to go and do like reading, or they like to take a warm bath before going to bed and have their nice routine. Now, if you've got kids or you're crazy busy, not always going to have time for a nice relaxing bath and a nice little bedtime
True.
story. So some of the other things that you can focus on is getting the lights dimmed around about an hour, at least an hour before you go to bed. So getting all those bright lights around the house down. Use little lamps in the corner. Just get that you want to get your body into it's time to go to sleep. Melatonin is released by your body when bright lights go down.
And that
So
helps promote sleep. So you don't want to be sitting in front of screens, bright lights. Like I wear blue block glasses or sunglasses from about 7.
you may have experienced it. Like maybe when you were younger or when you've been to a friend's place, you're out with friends and you're at their house and it's kind of nice mood lighting. It's not like bright in your face and you're almost falling asleep, almost falling asleep, almost falling asleep. You think, shit, I've got to go home. I've got to go home. And you get in the car and you start driving home. And by the time you get home, you are wide awake because you've had bright lights coming straight at you for the last 10, 15, or 20 minutes while you've been driving home. And those bright lights stimulate the hormone which actually makes you wake up in the morning rather than the one that
Cortisol
makes you go
goes
to
up,
sleep.
melatonin goes down. We need it the other way around when we need to go to sleep.
So that's one thing, limiting your time on
Absolutely.
devices, phones, TVs, computers at nighttime because the blue light makes you disrupt your whole sleep pattern and your melatonin ain't coming out when you got all that blue light slapping in the face.
So you can use glasses, you can put screens on, or just get off the screen.
Yeah.
Like it's stimulating you. So if you're struggling, then you're living in fight or flight. You're living in fight or flight. Your nervous system is dysregulated anyway. You're like constantly on the go. You need to get off the screen. Like just get off the screen. That's the worst thing that you can do. If you are like me and you're highly sensitive, right? You're also go, go, go. You are living in fight or flight. Your nervous system is dysregulated. You're constantly just going. You need to come off the screen. I know it sucks because you've got work to do, but you've got to come off the screen because it's not going to go away anytime soon. You're not going to be able to go to sleep any earlier. This is going to exasperate the fact that I can't sleep, create more tension in the body. All right.
Your relaxation techniques like your meditation and your breath work we talked about
Yin
before.
yoga
Yeah.
is really good. Like one of the things that me and Sam do is we do breath work followed by a 20-minute yin session. And when we do that before we go to bed, whew, within
Easy.
30 to 40 minutes, out cold, crashed out. You can watch TV for 2.5 hours and still be wide awake. Why? Because we're starting to lift the cortisol. All right.
All right, and then you got your wind down routines. And you can, some of you might want to read a
Our
book, some of
gratitude.
you want to do
Yeah.
gratitude, some of you might have a bath or have a shower before you go to bed. You just want to find a way to relax. Maybe you want to do a bit of journaling, so you get all it out of your head, and then you can just close your eyes and go to sleep at night. And then the other things you're looking at is you're limiting your stimulation. So things that are like caffeine and alcohol in the evening, as they worsen your night sweats and insomnia. So you got to cut off caffeine, preferably before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, if not earlier. Some people are a lot more caffeine sensitive. That's your coffee, tea, chocolate, and like your fizzy drinks, like your Coke and your V drinks and those energy drinks. Like they are the worst. Stay clear. You got to watch out for your hidden stimulants, like ingredients in snacks, right? And in medications.
Like
Things.
how hard was it for me to sleep when I was on a full dose of steroids?
Oh, yeah, but not sleep. Ush was still awake at 2, 3 in the morning doing like courses and reading. She'd do a whole book in one night. I'm crashed out. And I wake up at 3 in the morning and she's sitting there writing notes.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Like medications can keep you awake. So knowing that, you can put a strategy in place, like maybe see if you can move your steroids if that's the one keeping you awake. Find out which one it is and are you able to move them? Like now I'm on a lower dose of steroids, so I make sure that I take them first thing in the morning. All right.
Okay, and then you got to look at you literally have to look at your alcohol intake if you're struggling with sleep. Alcohol initially may help you fall asleep, but then it wakes you up and your whole sleep cycle is stuffed later on in the night. So if you are drinking alcohol, look at trying to reduce it as much as you can or try to avoid it at least 3 to 4 hours prior to going to bed. But otherwise, you're going to have a really restless sleep. And I know some people go, oh, I can't fall asleep without my wine. And that it might make you fall asleep initially, but it's not going to help you later in the night.
It's also having a huge impact on every other organ in your body, especially your liver.
Yeah.
So, there's so much evidence now coming out about alcohol and menopause and just the clash. This is like, ooh, it's like their kryptonite, right? So if you can moderate it, if that's possible for you right now, that will help you sleep.
And then last thing, you've got to stay hydrated during the day. Drink your water because that just improves your. If you're drinking a lot of water through the day, you'll be able to go to the toilet during the day. You'll be rehydrated, so your brain is going to function really well. It's going to help with getting all the crap out of your system, which is another benefit of drinking water. And then, of course, you're not going to be woken up in the middle of the night having to go for a pee because you drank 2 glasses of water before you went to bed at night.
Unless, of course, you're going through menopause and then you do probably get up 2 or 3 times a night. But just saying, that's a whole other topic, isn't it? Like, ooh.
Now, there's other strategies. I'm literally going to roll these off. We're not going to stop and talk about these ones, but not eating a big meal at night or at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. That's really going to disrupt your sleep. You can use essential oils like lavender and chamomile, cedar wood. They're all really good for calming the body. You can stick to a sleep schedule. So going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time every day, even on the weekends, helps your body to get into a routine. Spending time in the sun in the morning.
This is a goodie.
This is about getting your circadian rhythm going. So your body sees the sun, it like wakes up and it feels energized throughout the whole day. And then at nighttime, you should be then going down with melatonin and going to sleep. And then using things like block out curtains, decluttering your room and just creating a beautiful space that you feel calm in. Using things like white noise or calming
pink
waters,
noise. There's so many
rain
different noises now.
All of those things just to create a bit of a distraction in the background. And remember, we are all unique. We all have
thankfully,
we have to find the thing that's going to suit you individually. So don't try just one thing and give up. You just got to keep trying until you find something that does help. And if you find that something, share it with your friends because that might help them too. You just never know who else is going to benefit from the things that you do. Right? So that's us for today. We smashed out a lot.
There was a lot of content in today. It can be really overwhelming. Just take a breath. If you manage to do this in one hit, just pop in the comments, especially on YouTube, one hit. I did it in one hit. Like, this is a biggie. This is 52 minutes. Sam told me this is going to be a long one. I was like, can't we just break it down? She's like, no, we might have to do different and more in-depth dive. I was like, okay. So there you go. We just chucked everything at you. What did you love the most and what did you learn the most? What is the one action that you are going to commit to so that you can make this journey even better? Like, we want to make this an even better journey. We don't want to be alone and isolated. What's the one thing that you know that you could take responsibility for that is going to make your life easier? What is it? What's the one thing? That's all we ask. Or other than share this out. Because when you share it, it means that you care about your friends, your family, your relationships. Like, so many women are not talking about this, and we want women to be open about talking about this. It's crazy that we are not. So let's support more women by giving them more knowledge that they can apply, that they can take to the doctor so that they can feel seen and heard, so that when they're going, they don't feel like they're being gaslit. They've got some information and some ammo of like, these are my symptoms. This is what my options are. This is what I can do about it. Am I able to take this and this? And then I'm going to measure what the results are and how the symptoms are reducing. Like sharing is caring. So if you've been on a really hard journey, what's worked for you? And maybe we'll do that podcast as well. We're open to it. Anything you've got to throw at us, we are here to help spread the message because all of us women are going to go through this and let's do it together. Let's make it a damn good party if we're going to go through it together.
Awesome. All right, girls, you have an amazing week. Thank you for joining us today. And just remember, you are not alone, and we can't wait to be on this journey with you. And we're here for you wherever you are.
Have a great week, everyone.